Hi, everybody. Thanks for inviting me to this great talk. It's a nice event to have. So I'm Professor Shea Cronin. I'm from the Department of Applied Social Sciences and the Criminal Justice Program over at Met College. And I'm going to be talking about gun theft and gun regulations. And we all recognize that firearm violence, as Jonathan put very clearly, is one of the most significant public health and crime problems in our country. States adopt many laws to prevent firearm violence by regulating the purchase, sale, and possession of firearms. Several key laws, like universal background checks, are consistently associated with lower rates of firearm-related violence across states. And these laws are effective, even though they can be circumvented in several ways. Theft is one of the critical pathways that can undermine the effectiveness of regulations in both direct and indirect ways. Directly, studies show that over 10% of individuals who are incarcerated for a firearm offense are incarcerated because they stole the firearm that they used during that offense. Indirectly, theft pushes firearms into the black market, along with other trafficking methods, and lowers the price and costs associated with obtaining a firearm. Simply put, I think a stolen firearm then is put in the hands of folks that would otherwise be prohibited from buying a firearm, even in states with the bare minimum of regulations. The project I've been working on with several graduate students in our Masters of Criminal Justice program is to better understand firearm theft, something that has been poorly studied until recently. Specifically, we seek to understand the circumstances of theft, state and city trends over time, and most importantly, how firearm theft is associated with regulations and ultimately violence outcomes. We developed a panel data set of state firearm thefts using NIBRS, covering 12 years in 19 states. NIBRS is a unique opportunity because it captures information about the types of property that are involved in crimes, including the theft of firearms and other types of crime. Although participation is limited historically, NIBRS is now mandatory for agencies participating in the FBI's crime reporting program. So there'll be better coverage and better data in years to come. And so here are some important findings that we've uncovered from this large data set of official data sources of crime. The first, over 600,000 firearms were reported stolen in NIBRS between 2008 and 2019. That's over 50,000 per year. And this is based on data from only that subset of states that have consistently participated in the NIBRS reporting system. And it probably woefully underrepresents the scope of gun theft in our country. So next, theft per capita is highly correlated with estimates of firearm ownership. Simply put, more guns, more theft, more firearm availability for folks that would otherwise be prohibited, again, even with states with the bare minimum of firearm regulations, right? Third, theft frequently takes place in locations where firearms would be readily available for use in public disputes, right? Public disputes around violence. So over 30% are stolen from a motor vehicle, and other locations similarly put them in places where they can be used for violence on a regular basis. And finally, and most importantly, our analysis shows that state regulations are clearly associated with theft rates. As one example, the states that have less restrictive shall issue laws on carrying firearms in public have firearm thefts that are over 30% higher than states with laws that are more stringent. And this is net of levels of ownership, it's net of other types of property crime, it's net of police enforcement rates, and even mandatory laws that require reporting of firearm theft. So states that make firearms more available in public places generate a large degree more of firearm theft. So laws are effective despite the leaky bucket. There's weak regulations in other states that allow guns to flow across state lines. There's straw purchasers. There's clearly theft plays a role in also undermining these laws. Laws that allow for frequent possession of firearms in routine activities not only put firearms into potentially violent situations, like in the case of a dispute or an argument that could turn violent, they create higher rates of theft by making firearms readily available and easy to steal, where they can be used or pushed into the illicit markets. And it's critical to understand the disparate impact that this has on the firearm availability has on marginalized communities. It creates a very bad cycle of a clearly harmful cycle of firearms flowing into cities, higher rates of violence, higher rates of enforcement that all yield higher costs on communities of color in particular. Thank you.